Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
Welcome, everybody, to Wager Talk Today. Week 0 of college football in the bag. The big week starts this week. NFL only 12 days away, give or take. You're watching what, Teddy? What are you watching?
Wager Talk Today, the best damn sports betting show on the planet.
Yes, but it's the best daily sports betting show on the planet. But with you, I understand the word damn. Teddy covers the Prez. Teddy, I lost my 5% college football play on Saturday, but I had a good baseball weekend. You, my friend, you had a great weekend. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I didn't lose a game this weekend. It's been a real good run. 10-1, 91% over the last 6 days. But the last 6 months, Prez, number one at Sports Memo and net profits, number one at Wager Talk and net profits. It's been, an extended run, close to 59% counting every play every day for a 6-month span. And obviously red hot right now, won all weekend. So no complaints here, my friend. No complaints at all.
Well, I just, let me tell you who's coming on the show and then some business to take care of. Firstly, Marco D'Angelo, every Monday, always at the beginning, he pays us $500 to come on, and we honor that. He'll be talking Boston at Minnesota in baseball, and we're looking at the Illinois-Indiana game in college football. We got Matt Joesphs after that. He's got a future bet for us in the NFL and one in college football, and we end the show with Drew Martin, who's going to talk Yankees, LA, and Utah, and Florida. Teddy, I want to just say it again in case nobody heard. Guys, so Teddy is the number one handicapper in net profit since February. That is a long time. It's been unbelievably consistent. But more importantly, last Tuesday, he was in the dumpers. Then the Prez came on Wager Talk Today, gave Teddy a little positive juju. 10-1 run since then. Teddy covers on a 10-1 all sports run. And I got to mention this because Carmine is one of my best buddies in the whole world, but Carm had a monster weekend. He went 17-6 on the weekend, 5-0 in baseball, 2-0 in college football. And Gianni lays down an 8-2 start to the college football season as well. Plus, Brian Power went 3-0. Tony Mejia went 4-1. I'm pumped, dude. I'm pumped. We're not going to be talking baseball every day all the time. What did you learn this weekend in the wonderful world of sports betting?
Yeah, some monster weekends from the guys in college football. I only had the one play on Vanderbilt on Saturday and worked out okay, 62-10. Vandy victory. You know what it is. It's Monday. It's football season. That means it's time for our long dormant special, Bad Beats, Bad Bets, and Bad for the Books. Let's start a little recap of what happened in the betting action this past weekend. Look, Bad Beats. New Mexico State was plus 7.5 against Nevada. They lost that game by 11. They won every single statistical category in the ballgame except turnovers. -5 in turnovers. Brutal. If you had the Aggies. Plus, no, Nevada did very little to deserve to win and cover that ballgame. Nonetheless, they did. Nevada gets the money. New Mexico State, tough beat if you had them. Charlotte, Florida Atlantic, bad beat and bad bet. You can call a total bet from 57.5 up to 60. It's sitting at 53, 40-13. There's 14 and change left in the fourth. You need a TD to push or win. And then you get a field goal. You get a stopped on downs. You get a punt. And you get a long drive to run out the clock. And the over just dies in the fourth quarter of that ball game. Charlotte FAU stays under. Tough beat for over bettors. How about the Washington Commanders? You have the Ravens, who have won now 23 consecutive preseason games. But they didn't cover. Washington Commanders come through the back door with a late TD. Baltimore, -6.5. That was a bad beat. And, of course, Sunday Night Baseball. Let's not forget this one. It's 0-0 after 5. Then both bullpens get rocked. The over 8.5 cashes by the 8. Tough beat if you had the under Sunday night. Bad bets. Well, let's see. Lots of Nebraska money on game day. No shortage of under money coming in, too. Northwestern wins that game outright, 31-28. Scherzer and the Mets were bet up to -350 yesterday. They only gave up 1 run. Wasn't good enough. They lost 1-0 at home to the Rockies. Blue Jays, another favorite that got steamed up yesterday, -250 to -260. They lost 8-3 at home to the Angels. Not that many bad bets when it came to week 1 of college football or week 3 of the NFL preseason. Only the Nebraska and the under there really stood out. Bad for the books. There was a bunch. First week of college football, no surprise there. And, of course, the final week of the NFL preseason, first stringers versus second stringer games, the bettors got them all right. The Falcons -4.5 against the Jags, bet up to 7.5. They won by 22. The Dolphins -2.5 up to -4.5 against the Eagles. They won by 38. The Steelers -3 up to -6.5 against the Lions. They won by 10. Talked about Vandy steam. They faded Hawaii. Closed -9.5. 163-10. There was Illinois steam. Faded Wyoming. Illinois, they weren't even that good. They won 38-6. And it was bad for the books as well. Despite the Illinois steam all cashed, and the total landed right in the middle. Open 46, close 42, lands 44. Over and under bettors cash in Illinois, Wyoming. Last but not least, bad for the books for the Utah State-UConn game. Only the Sharps bet it, and the Sharps got it right. +29.5 down to +23, +24. UConn was in that game. All right, which surprised the hell out of me. If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. Huskies only lose by 11. The wise guys got Utah State-UConn absolutely right. That was a bad result for the house. There you have it, Prez. Bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books.
I love that segment, dude. I want to hear more. Let's just do that the whole show, start to end. Teddy covers.
That's all I got.
Okay, well, we'll move on. Chris C., first time on the chat. Chris, welcome. We love having you here. Abel with a 12-3 weekend. Way to go, Abel. You always come on here with winning winning records. Good stuff. And Teddy nailed his Illinois versus Wyoming analysis. Nebraska, anyone? Yeah, Nebraska did not look very good. I was on the under in that game, Teddy. That was one of the ones I lost. But I was on the over last night, which I wrote off. And then it hit. I watched the Manti Te'o documentary this weekend. What a story. Oh, my God. We know the story, but we don't really know the micro level of the story. And it is definitely worth watching. It's a 2-hour show. It was spectacular. And I'll tell you something, Teddy. He came across as a genuinely excellent human being. So that was a good part about it. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I highly recommend the Manti Te'o documentary. He's still trying to get back in the NFL, Teddy. You know where he is, what he's doing?
I do not.
I think he's on a practice roster with Chicago or something. I don't know. Let's ask Marco. Marco, last time you and Manti went out for dinner, what did he say he was up to?
I have no idea, Prez. I'm just still getting over the first weekend. Everything was okay for the weekend. Football was good. Baseball won on Friday, won on Sunday. But full disclosure, Saturday we had our first 5% play that I had actually in 2 months. We were on a 10-2 run with those, and I didn't give up a run, and I lost the game. I had Milwaukee first 5 innings on Saturday night. It was nothing after 5, and I was laying the half a run. And then they go on to win 7-0, which is always fun when you watch the next 2 innings. They put up 7 because obviously they didn't have to bat in the bottom of the 9th. So they scored 7 runs in the next 3 innings, 3 at bats, and they couldn't scratch one across for me in the first 5. But you'll have that. You move on and get ready for another big week.
Marco, so my daughter has a saying that jumped into my mind while you were talking, and that is when. When did I ask you any of those things?
Well, you usually ask me how my weekend was when I come on, and I had nothing, about the question you did answer, which nobody really cared about anyway. So I went to pertinent stuff.
Marco, I need you to stay focused. Answer the questions directly. Anyway.
I have no idea where he's at.
Okay, there you go.
Or do I care?
That was a long-winded answer to get there, my brother. Let's get into our first game of the day, Marco. Minnesota Twins, Bundy on the mound, 7:40 p.m. Eastern start against Bello. Minus anywhere from 112 at one book to 125 at another. So there's a bunch of room there. How are we betting this game?
I'm looking at Minnesota, and officially for the show, we are making it a full game wager. But I'll be honest, I have no problem in splitting this wager up, half first five and half full game. What I'm looking at in this one, and yes, Minnesota's been very streaky lately, both good and bad. They rolled off a 4-game winning streak, followed that up with a 6-game losing streak, and now they're back on a 3-game winning streak. Now, when you do look at the 6-game losing streak, 3 of those games were against Houston in Houston. So I can, kind of dismiss those. I feel Houston's the best team, most consistent team all year in the American League. So no problems there. But they're back winning again. This Boston team, they're up and down as well. They're 3-7 their last 10. But you look at the starting pitching in this matchup tonight, you got Bello going for Boston, and he has just been bad. Now, granted, it's a small sample size. He only has 4 starts, but it is what it is. In those 4 starts, he's got an ERA of 8.47, and more importantly, he's got a whip of 2.17. You can't put 2 base runners on per inning and get away with that in Major League Baseball. He's going to be going against Dylan Bundy for Minnesota. Last 3 starts, he's got an ERA of 1.76 and a whip that is just ridiculous. Now, he doesn't strike out a lot of batters, Bundy, but when you're not striking out a lot of batters and you still have a whip of 0.65, you're dealing it. He's not giving up many hits at all. I like him in this matchup. At home this season, 8 home starts, 2.68 ERA and a whip of 0.96. I'm going to go ahead, take Minnesota, ride the streak with them. Boston beats up on the lower echelon teams, and then they struggle when they play winning teams. Minnesota, hanging, a little bit over that 500 mark. Let's go ahead, take Minnesota here tonight to get the job done. And as I said, no problem splitting it up half a unit each way, first 5 and full game.
Well, Marco, when you directly go against my play, I got to read my write-up because I've got Boston first 5 innings tonight. And I'm just going to read a little excerpt here, and I'm going to ask for your opinion on it. Here's what I wrote. Brian Bello is a top 5 prospect in the Red Sox organization, but he struggled mightily in his first few big league starts. However, in his most recent start against the offensively potent Blue Jays, Bello was rock solid, throwing 5 innings of 2-run ball. Almost all ground balls or strikeouts. Minnesota's Dylan Bundy's on the other end of the spectrum, a fly ball pitcher, vulnerable to home runs in bunches. The Red Sox have seen him plenty over the years thanks to his time in Baltimore. And player after player in that lineup, Bogarts, Devers, Verdugo, Martinez, just to name a few, has a strong track record against him. I don't trust the Red Sox bullpen. I respect Minnesota's current form. So let's leave this as a first 5-inning wager, getting a plus price with the undervalued starting pitcher. Comment.
I can't argue with you that his last start was good against a Toronto team that generally is a very good offensive team. However, if you've looked at Toronto the last 3-4 games, they are not hitting the baseball right now. They struggled against the Angels over the weekend. So maybe that when he did face them, that was the start of the slump. And it's why my official play for the show was full 5 instead of first 5. Because you do have the advantage of Bello. They haven't seen him. You've got that, when a team doesn't see a pitcher I always say first time around the league, the pitcher has the advantage. However, in those first couple starts, it wasn't an advantage for Bello. He was bad. So I can't fully fault you there with that one, going the first 5. The other thing there, just a couple stats. Boston's coming off of 9 straight against division rivals. Over the last 2 seasons, when they've been in that situation and they're on the road, they're just 3-14 in their next game. Just a trend there. It's not something you base your whole play on, but it is worth noting. In Mondays is the travel day, the first day of the series, new series generally. A lot of teams don't perform well. Minnesota's one that's played very well on Mondays, 21-8 the last 2 seasons on Mondays. So with that, I ended up going with the full game on Minnesota for the show.
Marco D'Angelo, everyone. If you like what he has to say, hit the like button. If you don't like what he has to say, hit the like button anyway. Abid writes, Marco is one of his faves. He has a list of 27 handicappers that he considers one of his faves, Marco. Illinois, Indiana. These 2 teams are playing each other on Friday, September 2nd. It's an 8 p.m. Eastern start. -3 is the number. 46.5 is the total. It is so great to be talking college football and NFL. How are we betting this game?
Okay, well, full disclosure to start with, when I sent this in overnight, the total was 47.5. It's already gone down a point. I still like the play at 46.5, and I actually like it down to 45 if it gets that low. So I definitely would tell you to get on board this one now. What we have here, rare instance, and normally this would be a disadvantage. You've got Illinois is going to be playing their second game in 6 days against a rested team. Except the rested team, it's their first game of the season, and Illinois has a game under their belt. So I think that's an advantage for Illinois because, let's face it, you can't really duplicate the speed of the game and the contact of the game in practice. Yeah, you can get close to it, but it's not the same. And that's often why we see shoddy tackling in the first or second game of the season. With that said, I'm looking at this Illinois team. This is year 2 for head coach Bielema. And we know what he likes to do. There's no mystery to it. He likes to run the football. And he did run the football in the opening game against Wyoming. Now, granted, Wyoming, team out of the Mountain West, was outclassed, but they ran the football 41 times in that game for 260 yards. They're going to be facing a team that doesn't have a game under their belt. So execution should be better for Illinois in this second game. Offensive line gets, a game under their belt, blocking schemes, everything like that. And as long as they're having success with the running game, which I feel they will, they'll continue to do it. Yes, it'll set up some nice passing plays throughout the game, play action and such. But Bielema, when he gets a lead, he likes to protect it. He'll run the football in the fourth quarter. Now, for Illinois, you need 2 teams when you're looking at an over or an under. I'm looking at this Indiana offense. They were dismal last year. They only bring back 5 starters. Maybe that's a good thing because if you look at their last 4 games of the season, or last 5, 4 of those 5, they scored 14 or less last year. And if you look at them for the season, 6 times they were held to 7 points or less. I feel this is going to be one of those games, a ground and pound game from Illinois. It's a conference game. Indiana's going to be pumped up. Friday night game at home for the season opener. I'm looking for a low-scoring game, and I'm going to go under the 46.5.
So just a real quick follow, Marco, and it's just a conceptual question here. Is Indiana's defense good enough to play unders with?
Their team, they gave up a lot of points last year. But if you, look at this team down the stretch, and again, they were games that they didn't score a lot of points, so the other team doesn't have to keep scoring when the other team isn't scoring and kept them under. Again, I think that's what you're going to see here. I think Indiana's going to have trouble scoring in this game, and you could have this game where Illinois is sitting, at 27 to 7 and just milking the life out of the clock in the fourth period. You might ask me, hey, why not just go with Illinois? I can't argue that, argument as well. But I just think that the control of this game and his pedigree, his bloodlines, we've seen it, what he's done when he was at Wisconsin, when he was at Arkansas. He likes to run the football. And when the chains are moving and the clock is moving, that's what I like to see. And the sharps came in. John Q. Public is not betting on Sunday night and early Monday morning for an under on Friday night. That was definitely sharp money we've seen on this play, which just, for me, confirms my play. I'm never going to take a play just because of a money move. I was on it at 47.5 last night. Now it's 46.5.
Teddy, ask Marco what color the sky is. Here, a 3-minute answer. Marco D'Angelo, everyone. Marco, it's $9 Tuesday, Monday, $9 Tuesday. Good one, Prez. It's $9 Monday. You've got two, not one, two 5% plays up in the same package, right? So they can get your college football and your NFL future bet, both 5% plays for only $9, right?
That's correct. And actually, there's 6 plays in that package, college and pro. Take advantage of it. Midnight, it's going back to $39. So check that out right now. You can pick it up for $9. Normally, those 2 5% plays, $35 each. Hell of a deal, $9 Monday.
There you go, Marco D'Angelo, everyone. Oh, we got tons left. I got an incredible pick to give out in the daily presidential address. So make sure to get us to 100 likes. Teddy, we're going to take a quick break. We got your big game breakdown, Matt Joesphs, Drew Martin, and the daily presidential address still to come. $9 Monday, everyone. Let's go.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk Thursday night college football. Looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen right now, I'm seeing Missouri. Let's call them minus 19.5, total of 60, maybe 60.5 against Louisiana Tech. We have seen some over money over the course of the last couple of days. This line's held in this between minus 19 and minus 20 basically since it opened, and it's been sitting there all summer. We haven't seen a whole lot of movement this week either. In week one of college football, I like to bet favorites. I'm not exclusively betting favorites, but I tend to look towards favorites. I believe there is a legitimate week one bias towards underdogs. I'll tell you why. This is my 24th summer in Vegas, my 25th football season. Every sharp, and you walk around town all summer, you talk to sharp bettors. It's just what you do. You run into this guy over here, you run into that guy over there, you're talking to, Every single sharp bettor I talk to every summer tells me all the dogs that are going to win outright in college football week one. This team's a false favorite. That team's a false favorite. Like Nevada last week, the false favorite. Oh, Vandy can't cover. Vandy can't cover 6,000 miles away from home. Well, I laid with Vandy in week 0. That was my only client play. And this week I'll be doing some more laying points, like this one. It's a complete rebuild for Louisiana Tech, okay? The Skip Holtz era ended with a thud, all right? 3-9 last year. Sonny Cumbie, not an experienced head coach, walking into a situation where he's not got a ton of talent on hand. I think it's going to be ugly for La Tech early. I don't think it's going to be ugly for Missouri early. This is a team, Eli Drinkwitz is put up or shut up time right now. Make or break year. And when you have an SEC bully at home in their opener, They're not going to let up. This score will continue to run up. And the one thing Missouri has, they've got some playmakers. They've got some team speed on the opposite side of the football. I think they'll get their fair share of quick strike touchdowns. I don't think La Tech's going to be able to compete in this one. And the price is very reasonable for a team like Missouri that comes in with no hype, but a good matchup in week one. I think the Tigers lay the points. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Teddy covers. What about the over or under in that game? Because it's one of those lines where a minus 19.5, minus 20. I mean, that's a third of the total.
I don't want to ask Louisiana Tech to do anything. I don't want to ask them to get stops. I don't want to ask them to score. So it's the kind of game where total-wise, I don't see it. Side-wise, I see it.
There you go. Teddy covers big game breakdown. Take the Tigers minus 19.5. Teddy, listen, I mean, we're up against it time-wise because you've got this great show starting at 1 p.m. with Drew Martin, the opening line report. Guys, you got to make sure to listen to that. One of our listeners, Mateo, are round robins for 4 plays a good strategy? Look, we could do a whole hour on this. The answer is no. It is not a good strategy. Make straight bets. That's always the best strategy. You will never find a professional bettor in your life making 4-team round robins on a regular basis ever. Literally ever. However, if you have to, and I respect that it's fun, just do the 3-teamers. So if you're going to take the 4 teams, don't do the 2-team parlays and don't do the 4-team parlays. Just do the 3-team parlays. Anything quick
I got to jump
add?
in, Prez. I have to
disagree?
jump in because absolutely, I've many times seen professional bettors make all kinds of round robin parlays and all kinds of parlays. However, the only time that is happening is when they're wheeling a bunch of stuff together with a bad line or a couple of bad lines, or this quarterback got hurt, and you got a parlay card with a stale number on it. They're not doing that randomly putting games together. They're wheeling a bunch, and by wheeling, I means you're attaching one game and putting a bunch of different, or 2 games, putting a bunch of different other bets with it. But you will see that happen regularly here in Las Vegas. I've seen it happen. So to say we never see it, we do see it. It's just not in a random situation where, oh, let's put this team and that team and the other team together. It's always, there's a rationale behind those type of bets when you see them from the wise guys.
Yeah. But guys, as Raven Ron just said, single bets work for him, and that is really the way to make money in the long run. Matthew Joesphs, how are you, my friend?
Doing well. I'm a straight bet kind of guy. I don't really play the round robin, so one bet for me. I don't need to worry about a whole bunch of them in a giant round robin.
Yeah, it's really hilarious. You know, you bet $110 to win 100. That's like 91% return on your money in 4 hours. Like, if I could get 91% return on my money over the year, I would be dancing a jig of Michael Flatley proportion. So yeah, no, don't get greedy, guys. Don't get greedy. Matt, you are absolutely rolling in baseball. 55-34 baseball run. College football, way to start, 3-1 already on the season. Outstanding stuff. We'll get to all of that later. The Detroit Lions, Matthew. This is a team that's fascinating to me because they never get off the schneid, and yet every year we think maybe they're going to get off the schneid. Are we going over or under on 6.5 wins?
All right, so I'll start this off by saying I have not watched Hard Knocks. I'm not buying into any sort of hype because their coach is a good cheerleader and the players want to play for him. So this is not based off of that. I like the over for the Lions this year. I like the roster that they're slowly building here, and I think offensively they're going to be able to score some points. And I think they're getting at least 3 wins in this division. I think they're going to take one from the Packers. I think they could take one from the Vikings, and they'll certainly take at least one from the Chicago Bears, who might be the worst team in football. The unfortunate thing is I think we might know if we win or lose this bet in the first 2 weeks. You get the Eagles at home, you get the Commanders at home. If they go 0-2, then this is probably going to be another one of those miserable seasons. I think they go at least 1-1. A little worried as an Eagles fan they may lose this game, but I certainly think they'll beat the Commanders at home in week 2. And then you kind of look at the bad teams. They host the Seahawks. They play at the Jets. They host the Jaguars. They play at the Giants. So there's plenty of those teams that are down towards the bottom of the league that I think they're better than. Aiden Hutchinson's going to legitimize that pass rush. And don't forget, for as good as their offense is going to be early, I think Jamison Williams will come in the middle of the year. He'll add some energy. He'll add some game-breaking ability, which this offense desperately needs. I think with the running game they have, arguably one of the best offensive lines in football, I'll take the Lions to go over the 6.5. And as I said, this is not Hard Knocks hype for me. I know there's people betting the over because they watch the show and like, this is the greatest team ever. This is just looking at their schedule and saying there's probably at least 7 wins on their slate.
Let's talk some Friday night college football. Old Dominion and Virginia Tech. Right now, look at the WagerTalk live odds screen. I'm seeing the Hokies -8, -8.5, more 8.5s than 8s out there right now. Total, there's still a couple of 50s out there, but the market's moving down. I'm seeing 49.5 as a prevailing number right now. What are we going to do with the Monarchs and the Hokies?
I agree with the line move on the under. I just, I look at this Virginia Tech team, and I'm going to be doing a lot of work this week on my radio show with both of these teams, interviewing coaches and players and things like that. But, Virginia Tech for the longest time has had all these weapons, and they've never had a quarterback. Well, now they have a quarterback, and they have no one for him to throw to or run with. The running back room has been a little banged up. Malachi Thomas has been injured. Jalen Holston's been injured. The wide receivers, we saw Robinson go from Virginia Tech to Kentucky. Their offensive line has some question marks, but Virginia Tech's got a good defense this year. There's some talent on every level on defense with them. My concern is they may struggle to move the ball a little bit against Old Dominion, and I know people are like, wait a second, come on, it's Old Dominion, but they got a bunch of starters back, and the one thing we knew about them, especially in Conference USA, was they played some defense, and in that conference, nobody plays defense. My concern with ODU is their offense. Hayden Wolf is an okay quarterback. I know there's going to be some excitement here. The last time Virginia Tech was down in Norfolk, Old Dominion won the game outright. Travis Fulgham was a superstar in that game. I just don't see a lot of points in this game. I think that there won't be a lot of pace here. I think there could be some early feeling out between the two teams. I see this being like a 24-21 type of game, and there's a chance I may even throw Old Dominion in there. I think they're a live dog at home in this one.
Matt Joseph, man, Matt, one of our listeners says it best. You really know college football, and you do, dude. I mean, number one at Sports Memo last year in college football. You're up over 100 units from last year and this year as well. Just incredible stuff, man. Jesus. Do you have much of a life, or in order to know college football as good as you? I'm guessing you're reading this shit while in the toilet.
Well, I mean, as we talked about the last time I was on, I did season win total previews for every team in the FBS level, so that kind of helps me. And I like playing stuff that not a lot of people do. I like playing team totals. Like, Teddy was just talking about how he doesn't want Louisiana Tech to have to do anything for him. So then maybe I even look at like a Missouri team total because we expect them to score a lot of points in this one. So it's kind of looking beyond the sides and the totals and finding some values in first quarter plays or first half plays or team totals and isolating some variables.
Matt Joseph, everyone. Matt, we love having you on. Anything quick to promote?
So for today on $9 Monday, I put up a package that's basically you'll get my best bet for the college football weekend when I put it up, and today only you'll get it for $9. So jump on in at sportsmemo.com.
Awesome stuff, Matt Joseph, everyone. You can find him at sportsmemo.com. Teddy, we're over 100 likes already. We still got 11 minutes left in the show. It must be because we've got the handsome Drew Martin joining us. I mean, once word got out that Drew was coming on, I mean, it was like gang, but there was a lineup to get on YouTube. That's how crazy it was. Drew.
Hi, Drew.
For the welcome, but using, handsome right after Matt Joseph's mid-major Matt. I mean, I just don't think that, that's setting it up correctly. Look at that, man. The glasses, the little bit of gray hair, how much he knows his college football. It's a really tough follow. Plus the fact I'm on with you two handsome boys, Prez, Teddy,
shut up, Drew.
Two of my favorites. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Drew, I'm calling HR on you. I found that whole segment completely inappropriate.
Who's in charge of HR anyway? Is that
I don't
Johnny?
know. I'm sure it's Missy. She seems to be in charge with on everything. James S writes, the ladies love Drew. Yes, that is correct. And good for Drew. Brother, let's get straight into it, man. We got the Yankees playing the Angels today. The Angels just came off of a 3-game sweep against the Toronto Blue Jays. Each game was just worse for the Blue Jays than the last. I'm guessing it's a perfect time to fade the Angels. Where are we going here?
Are you? See, I was thinking it's the other way around. I mean, your Blue Jays right there in the playoff hunt, and the Angels giving them all they could handle. Tell you the truth, Prez, I think the market is a little bit behind this trend of the Yankees. You know, that hot start, everybody remembers it. You know, for a while, they were the #1 team in baseball. Well, since August has started, they're just 9-16. That's their straight up record here. They're on a West Coast road trip going from Oakland to LA here, and we're asking them to lay -$2 on the road with Frankie Montez, who's been a dumpster fire ever since coming over to New York. I just think they're way overpriced, and people are writing off the Angels. First off, in this matchup, they got the pitcher in better form with Suarez on the hill, plus the fact right in the middle of their lineup, they got Ohtani and Trout. I think a lot of people writing off the Angels as, you know, not a very good team. They haven't been a good team for many years now. But the fact that they're healthier this time of year, football starting, I think it's kind of going under the radar a little bit. I mean, that's kind of the best, arguably the best middle of the lineup in all of baseball. And we're getting near +$2 on the money line. I put the 1.5 in my pocket here. And I also sprinkled some on the run, on the money line. The Angels are the side for me late night tonight. Prez, pitcher in better form, Frankie Montez. Look at his numbers since coming over to New York. He's given up 16 earned runs in his last 16 innings over his last 4 starts. Suarez the better pitcher. Angels are healthy right now. Big plus price on the Halos tonight.
So certainly 2 of Montez's first 3 starts with the Yankees weren't good. But last time out, he shut down the Mets. He was in Montas form, and now he's coming back to the West Coast, where he's played most of his career, where fly balls don't fly out of the park the same way they do back east. It seems to me like my gut reaction here is I want to be betting on Montas in this spot, not against him. This is his. This looks to me to be his role. Talk to me about the Yankees starting pitcher in this game and why you want to fade him so bad, even though he's going back kind of the friendly confines of the West Coast.
Go ahead, Teddy. Lay the big plus price on Frankie Montez. In fact, after the show, I'll take your action, man. It's all about price point. You know, you can bet teams, you can bet players all you want. In this business, guys, it's comes down to the numbers, and to lay $2 here on a team that's 9-16 this month. Frankie Montez, I guess you could point towards his last outing, like you're talking about. I mean, 5.2 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 hits. Is that really shutting down the Mets? I think that's kind of a stretch there, Teddy. So I don't know if you want to, and you think like going back to the West Coast is friendly confines. I guess you could say that, but I don't know, man. I would point towards.
Drew, that was one of the best handlers of Teddy in history. It was just mwah, mwah. But that's because, like me, you have to deal with Teddy on a regular basis. My brother, you've got the opening line report coming up at 1 o'clock today. My apologies that you have to do that with Teddy. Then you got first pitch at 2. You are a busy man. We have someone asking, when is every game on the board coming back? And by the way, that someone is the wonderful J2, Jessica. So when is the every game on the board coming back?
Well, I got to do the schedule today, and I actually been texting here with Teddy for his segment. We got to form. See, a lot of people are like, "Oh, where's the every game on the board?" Well, college football has like 100 dang games. I can't put it just like, oh, we're gonna do it 2 o'clock on a Tuesday and we're just gonna run down it. I got to set up, a segment here with this handicapper, segment here with this handicapper, all the way down, Prez. So it's kind of like a job in itself, just setting up the schedule. And I don't think a lot of the listeners, who I love, who, it's a great show. Thank you, Jessica, for the question. It's just there's a lot of back work behind it. And on Mondays, that's what I do when I'm done doing the shows. So it will be up starting probably Wednesday. Good segment of it on Thursday, and we'll finish it off on Friday, Prez.
Drew Martin, everyone, exclusive handicapper at WagerTalk.com, and our most active host. Well, you and Joe. It's pretty close. Anyway, let's get into some college football. This is a fascinating game. We got Utah playing Florida. A lot of money's been coming in on Utah. I mean, it started out -1.5 the other direction. It's now -3 for Utah. Strangely, there's still a -1.5 at one of the books, but it's -3 across the board. Total in this game is, again, bet down. Now we have a 50.5 on tap. What are we doing here, bro?
Yeah, Prez. I mean, last night when I wrote you the games, Utah was still 2 in the hook, jumped all over them. But sure enough, it's jumped up to 3. Maybe it will jump back down. SEC team at home Saturday night, Pac-12 team traveling across country. But I agree with this move here, Prez. First off, you talked about it. Fascinating game. What a matchup, just from a handicapping standpoint, a fan standpoint as well. We get a Pac-12 team coming across country, facing the Gators. And I agree with this line move for a couple reasons. One, they're returning their quarterback, Cam Rising. With him at the helm, Utah was a different type of offense. When you look at the Utes, their defensive line, linebackers, pretty much their defense overall, what a tough unit. Usually when a Pac-12 team is going to play an SEC team, I would really worry, Prez, about, hey, can they stand up at the line of scrimmage, both offensive and defensive line? Utah is the one team in the Conference of Champions that I'm not worried about that at all. The way that they've recruited their head coach, Kyle Whittingham, probably the best coach in college football that nobody really talks about a lot. People kind of concentrate on the Nick Sabans of the world. Kyle Whittingham, what he's been able to do with Utah, bringing them up to the Pac-12, being the best program in the Pac-12 right now. I know USC in the futures this year ahead of Utah, but overall, Prez, adding all of that on the Utah side of things, with what happened with Florida this offseason. Now, I think Billy Napier coming over from Louisiana, where he did a good job in the Sun Belt, I think that their future is really bright in the fact that, they're on a ramp heading in the right direction, talking about the Gators program. But this is the first game that they're going to be playing in a new system, new coach, a lot of new players. This is the time to get Florida. I think it sets up well for Utah. Just same system against new system. And I know it's a tough place to play Saturday night in the Swamp, but this is a veteran unit. And I agree with this line move. Flip favorite over the summer. It was Florida -1. Now it's Utah as high as -3 right now, looking at the WagerTalk odds screen. I agree with the move. The Utes are the side, Prez.
So real quick, and this is my only question here is, Utah's the type of team that over the years we made a lot of money with when there's no hype, right? Whittingham's teams, when there's less hype, boy, they can overachieve and make us some money. But the years where Utah's hyped, like this year, where everyone's telling them, I mean, all you hear is how great Utah is, and oh my God, look at Utah in the trenches, and oh, Utah's got the returning QB. The years where they're hyped, they've tended to be an overvalued commodity. Does that concern you at all for this matchup?
No, because I actually disagree with you. I mean, yeah, I just said that here, but I haven't heard anybody hyping them up. In fact, they're 80-1 to win the national championship. So, in fact, I would say they're not hyped up at all, Teddy. And so, no, I would say I disagree with kind of the sentiment of your question. And I think Utah's right under the radar.
You tell
Well,
them.
I'll tell you this. In Vegas, there's a lot of hype on Utah. Everyone's talking about Utah.
You know where else there's a lot of hype on Utah, Teddy? Utah. Yeah. Drew Martin, you got a promo to give out. It is Drew 300, everyone. Drew 300. It is a substantial saving. It's $300 off of Drew Martin's full NCAAF and NFL package. Drew came in the top 10 last year at the famous Golden Nugget Ultimate Football Contest. And also, as you can hear, this man knows his stuff. Use the promo code Drew300 over at WagerTalk.com. Drew, we're up against it because of your show at 1 o'clock. I got to let you go. You will be with us every second week.
Is that the schedule? Okay, so every other Monday I should put it on my my schedule
Not
here.
necessarily
Content.
Monday. Read it all. Just look every Sunday. Get out of here, bro. Daniel's son, we got 100 likes. We got a whole lot more than that. Cue it up, baby. Okay, guys, I got a NFL future bet to give you and an MLB parlay. Let's start right with the MLB parlay. I don't normally do parlays, but when there are big money lines, you're better off turning it into a parlay. Milwaukee Brewers minus 330, Toronto Blue Jays minus 240. You put them both together, you get a minus 120 parlay. I am betting that personally, and I do want to just say, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to go on a bit of a run. I can feel it. This team's been super streaky. They're coming off of a 3-0 sweep in the wrong direction against the Angels. Okay, future bets. So I've gone down this board top to bottom, guys. And, you look at this and you're like, okay, right off the bat, Buffalo Bills minus 230 just feels like an easy bet to make. I hate the fact that it is minus 230. But I am going to make that bet regardless. That is not the bet I'm giving out on this show. AFC North, I can't find a thing. What really stands out to me flat out, and I think the best futures bet I have seen from a value perspective in a long, long time, is the Minnesota Vikings at plus 275. To win the division, Minnesota plus 275. Now, automatically, I'm taking Chicago and Detroit out of that equation. This division is going to come down to them or Green Bay. I look at it this way. Green Bay has no weapons anywhere except for a quarterback. I grant you they have Aaron Rodgers. He's a god. I love him. He's amazing, blah, blah, blah. This team has a mediocre running game, a mediocre wide receiving game, a mediocre tight end game. They've got no edge rushers. They are just a team that I think is in disarray. I do not believe in the Green Bay Packers. And if you look at the Minnesota Vikings, here's a team that is loaded with talent, just loaded with talent. They got great running game, great wide receivers, great tight end. They've got a fast defense, albeit that is their Achilles heel right now. But I look at those two teams, and I think there's, on paper, more talent on Minnesota than on Green Bay. Plus, they have a new coach who doesn't hate Kirk Cousins. They got a great play-action pass going, etc., etc. I like the Vikings at plus 275 to win this division. Teddy covers. I know we ran late. Humble apologies. Namaste. Take us home, bro.
Sure, that's going to wrap it for the Monday edition of Wager Talk Today. I want to thank all three of our guests, Marco D'Angelo, Drew Martin, and Matt Joesphs, for joining us. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to spend with us here on Wager Talk Today. Stay tuned to this channel. Drew Martin and myself doing the NFL opening line report at the top of the hour. And, of course, we'll be back again tomorrow with the best daily sports betting show on the planet, 9 a.m. here on the left coast, noon for you back east. Between now and then, you know what to do. Enjoy the games, and good luck.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.